welcome, welcome. I'm Pam Rice. I'm the Executive Director here at Neighborhood House, and we are so excited to be hosting this event today with Google Fiber. We're so glad you are all here. What an exciting day, right? Great. A little bit about Neighborhood House. Neighborhood House was established in 1896 as Kentucky's first settlement house, serving some of the families in Louisville who had some of the greatest needs. And today, more than 120 years later, we're still serving Louisville families. Today, as a community center, we're serving infants through senior adults in Portland and from surrounding neighborhoods of West Louisville. This year, we were excited to get a generous grant from the Community Foundation of Louisville for a technology upgrade, which our staff knows was desperately needed here. And then we got the exciting news, Google Fiber is coming to Portland. Woo! So we wanted to make sure we did whatever we needed to be able to take advantage of their services. Well, in June, we had some awesome Google Fiber employees who came and volunteered. They were working with some of our kids doing some stuff a couple of afternoons. One of our employees came and said, Pam, you need to go meet these guys. They are genuinely excited about what they're doing in Portland. And that's what we found ever since. In talking with the Google Fiber folks, you guys have been terrific. Terrific, and they're enthusiastic about the real difference they're going to be able to make here in Portland with Google Fiber. So that's been terrific. So more about that later on, but right now I want to introduce Ashley Crow. Ashley is a Louisville native, and she's the Eastern Network Deployment and Operations Lead for Google Fiber. Welcome, Ashley.
Thank you, Pam. It's so important to have strong community partners. It's an honor to be here with you today at the Neighborhood House. And hello, Louisville. We're so excited to be here this morning. Hopefully everyone had a chance to grab some food and connect with this great group. As Pam mentioned, I was born and raised in Louisville. I'm so proud to be from this amazing city. When I started at Google Fiber in 2012, it was a dream of mine that one day Google Fiber would be available in my hometown. And I'm happy to say that day is here. Google Fiber. Google Fiber is now available in Louisville. I need to thank a few people who have been instrumental in working to bring Google Fiber to Louisville, including Mayor Fisher, whom you'll hear from in just a few minutes, and all of the City Council. I know we have Councilwoman Bryant Hamilton here, as well as Councilwoman Shanklin, so thank you all very much. Louisville took the lead in creating an environment where innovation could flourish, not just for Google Fiber, but for any company looking to deploy internet infrastructure. This city is a national example of what can happen when you have city leadership with vision and drive. From One Touch Make Ready to working with us on new deployment techniques, the city staff, the mayor, and the city council have all served integral parts of helping us to make this network work for Louisville. I also need to thank the people that have been doing the work in the field. We have Irvin Cable Construction, Corbell Communications, and our local partner, Hutchins Telecom. They have been working so hard to make this day possible. As a Louisvillian, I've always known we were a city on the rise, and Google Fiber is ready to be a part of that growth. As of today, residents in Portland, Strathmore, and Newburgh can sign up on our website for Fiber 1000 and Fiber 100 products. All of Louisville can sign up for updates there as well. This is the fastest Google Fiber has ever moved from the construction announcement, which was a mere 5 months ago, to opening signups. We could not have accomplished this without the great city of Louisville. Now I'm going to turn it over to Mayor Fisher for his thoughts.
Thank you so much, Ashley. We couldn't have asked for a better partner on this journey, and it has been a journey. When Google Fiber first announced this concept to the country about 2012, we were right in their offices in Washington, D.C. saying, you know, we want to be one of your Google Fiber cities. We're known as the most innovative municipal government in the country, so it was only right that Google Fiber selected the right partners. So we eventually got there, and we worked through some hurdles to get to where we're at here today, both from a technology and legal standpoint, so I just couldn't be happier, because we all know that Google Fiber is a highly selective, world-class company, and they're in high demand. And they chose to do business here because, like us, they believe in the great future of our city here. And after years of conversation, I too am very excited to say, Google Fiber, welcome to Louisville. You know, it's so important that a city can send a message to each and every one of its citizens that you are included in the on-ramp to the future. Their full human potential is flourishing. That's how we define our city value of compassion here, and creating opportunities to make sure that everybody's got those tools, because our city's got tremendous momentum when you think about the big picture, the macro picture. Since 2011, we've added 71,000 new jobs in the community, almost 3,000 new businesses. We've got $11 billion in capital investment going on in the city right now. Wages are up across the board. 11,000 Louisvillians have lifted themselves out of poverty, and 8,300 Louisville families have joined the middle class. And that's momentum. And at the same time, though, from day one, we recognize the world is changing more rapidly than any time in human history. And obviously, our job as city employees and public servants is to make sure that we're not just keeping up with change, but we're leaping ahead of change as well. And that we know that for our citizens to flourish here in Louisville, for all of our citizens to flourish, it's mandatory that they have reasonably priced, ultra-high-speed internet to each and every home here in our city, and that is just a mandatory requirement. So we have been working doggedly on that since the first day in our administration, and today is another major step in pursuit of that goal. I want to talk a little bit about digital inclusion. Too much of the history of our country and our cities was stained by redlining, and redlining was a practice where lending institutions basically would not lend money to finance homes in certain areas of cities that they called redlined. And those areas often had, or almost always had, high proportions of minorities, African Americans, and what that did was exclude African American families from being able to build wealth. Most people build wealth in one primary asset, and that's their home. So it's an example of an institutional policy that led to inequitable practices and results that we see with us here still today. Why is that important? Because it's mandatory that a city recognizes that type of history and leans into the future with practices like digital inclusion. Digital inclusion is absolutely critical to our city's future. And by that, and what I really want to commend Google Fiber for, is you could go to where the richest parts of the cities are from a financial perspective and say, that's where we're going to roll out, and we're going to get the most customers the quickest. Or you can say, I'm going to be part of righting a historical wrong. And we're going to start in parts of the city that traditionally have not been first. Parts of the community like Portland, parts of the community like Newburgh. And it takes an extraordinary company to recognize putting that first over immediate profits first is the right thing to do. And Google Fiber really deserves a big round of applause for that. We've got 30,000 open jobs in the community right now. So it's just important that everybody feels like they've got a shot at those jobs, and our digital inclusion strategy is a big part of that. It consists of three things. One is providing hardware, working with partners to provide technology and technical support to residents in need. Second is teaching digital skills, providing training opportunities through public-private partnerships like Code Louisville, so citizens get the skills they need to fill the long-term jobs of the future. And the third is improving connectivity, so expanding access to internet and broadband infrastructure for our entire community, like we're seeing here today with Google Fiber, or what we also did when we intentionally located our Gigabit Experience Center, PNC Gigabit Experience Center, right in the Russell neighborhood at the Louisville Central Community Center. Some thought it was an unorthodox approach. we said, no, let's put it right into an area of town where people will travel to and send a message about digital inclusion. So we're really excited that Google Fiber is now part of the Louisville business community. Ashley, again, I want to thank you for your great efforts. Councilwoman Shanklin and Sherry Bryan Hamilton, congratulations. It's a tremendous addition to your all's districts here for our community. And we're also excited to see that since this announcement, other internet service providers are now picking up their game relative to higher speeds at lower prices as well. And I think that's something that we all can appreciate, is that choice is good for business here in our community. Just a few final thank yous. Bill Schreck is here. Bill was one of the great public servants in the history of Louisville. This was a hairy project. That's not a technical term, but that's what it was in many ways. Bill came out of retirement and just volunteered as a citizen to project manage the thorniest parts of this project. So Bill, you are a tremendous individual and citizen. Thank you so much. Kelly Watson was my general counsel at the time. She's now our chief equity officer. She worked through some of the thorniest legal issues associated with this. So Kelly, thank you. Grace Simrall and her team with Civic Innovation and Technology have been outstanding working through all of the issues associated with this as well. So thank you, Grace, and the entire team. And I want to give a special shout out to an entrepreneur who was with us for the first 5 years as our Civic Innovation Officer, Ted Smith. Ted was the first Chief Innovation Officer in any city government. We created that position here in Louisville. And he doggedly pursued Google Fiber with us. Someone's laughing there in the background. And Ted is in New York today. He said he would be watching right now. So Ted Smith, you did a great job to get Google Fiber to Louisville. So good job, Ted. All right, so it's taken a great deal of work, obviously, to get this, but also belief in ourselves and belief in the future and belief in having a great partner here. So once again, great day for our city. Google Fiber, Ashley and the team, great job.
Thank you, Mayor Fisher. To wrap us up, I have one more surprise. We're proud to announce that we've connected the Neighborhood House to our free super fast internet so that they can take advantage of all of that bandwidth. This is our very first connection as a part of our Google Fiber Community Connection program, and we are thrilled to partner with you on this. Additionally, we're thrilled to announce that a local artist, Ashley Tromler, has created artwork unique to Louisville for our installer vans. We have one parked right outside, so don't forget to take a selfie with it before you head out. Again, thank you, Louisville. We'll be hosting events all over town so you can get to know us better. So make sure you signed up for updates on our website. We will have more surprises, and that website is google.com/fiber/Louisville. Thank you.